passes the Elevon speed brakes and rudder. Minus 30 minutes and 30 seconds of count.
There are the gimbals of the engines.
Yeah. Gimbal through a pre-programmed series of maneuvers as a final test before launch.
Discovery is
Up
regarded
next, they'll
as the
retract the
leader
gaseous
of
oxygen vent arm at
flights
2 minutes and 50 seconds before launch. Coming up at 15 seconds.
Most people call it the beaver cap. Just so you know who you're going to be hearing, you're hearing all kinds of voices here. That's Mike Curie. Mike Kleinbach is the launch director. You're not going to hear much of him anymore. The Johnson Space Center takes control after liftoff. Josh Byerly is the commentator. The flight director is Richard Jones. You'll be hearing Charlie Hobaugh on the communication links between Steve Lindsay, the commander of Discovery. So those are your voices. Mike Curie now. You'll soon hear Josh Byerly after liftoff. By the way, the liftoff phrase today was selected by the Discovery team en masse. So we're going to hear what the liftoff, and there's always a phrase that they use of Discovery on a blank.
Atlantis will go no
That
earlier
is
than June if
decided and
NASA has
discussed among the
sufficient
team. We'll
funds
hear what
left
that
in its
is.
shuttle
Then
program
we'll hear
budget.
Josh Byerly, and then we'll hear Charlie Hobaugh on the communications, and you'll hear us talking, of course.
Gaseous oxygen vent hood or beanie cap is slowly being
Okay,
retracted
024, that's very serious.
This is where it becomes really real. This is where you close and lock your visors, breathe in pure oxygen, and you are ready to go. Suddenly this is where you just feel it is not a sim.
All right, T-minus 2. I am so glad this big crowd here on the Space Coast, upwards of 40,000 people plus all around the Space Coast, are going to see this on this beautiful day, the last launch of the Space Shuttle Discovery. Crew of 6 on its way to the International Space Station, carrying some supplies, a robot, and a spare closet for the International Space Station. On their way, we hope, in about a minute and 30 seconds. What a day.
Il y a Euronews, il y a CNN et il y a NASA TV sur spaceflightnow.com à l'ordinateur. Lancement de Discovery, le tout dernier STS-133.
A favorite shuttle.
Une minute.
Many people who work on the NASA Space Shuttle program. It holds a sentimental place.
Il y a quelques secondes de différence avec celui-ci.
Having taken charge of the return to flight missions following the Challenger and Columbia incidents, and also having
at this time. T-minus.
Spent more time in space in orbit than any
Why did you leave the boat, please?
Discovery is now running on 3 onboard fuel cells. Coming up on a go for auto sequence start at T-minus 31 seconds.
And one can scarcely imagine
30 secondes.
within the NASA headquarters and
Il y a un petit décalage entre les deux images ici.
themselves who are inside waiting for the takeoff.
Has been activated, protecting Discovery and the launch pad from acoustical energy waves. Go for main engine start. We have main engine start. 2, 1. And the final liftoff of Discovery. A tribute to the dedication, hard work, and pride of America's space shuttle team. The shuttle has cleared the tower.
A tribute to the dedication, hard work, and pride of America's space shuttle team. The shuttle has cleared the tower.
Discovery now making one last reach.
Yoo-hoo!
Discovery now making one last reach. The stars. Passes through the area of maximum pressure, reducing the stress on the shuttle as it goes supersonic.
Discovery Houston, you are go at throttle up. Discovery Houston, you are go at throttle up.
Both Commander Steve Lindsay acknowledging the call from Capcom Charlie Hobaugh. Discovery is 3 minutes and throttle back
on the
up.
window, and Discovery launches on her final voyage.
Charlie Hobaugh as Discovery is joined on the flight deck by pilot Eric Bowen, mission specialist.
Still got ways to go here. We're just a couple of minutes.
1.5 minutes into it.
Once you those solid rocket boosters come off, so far, the go throttle up
Specialist Mike Barrett and
Mach
Steve
2
Bowen.
moment, the point in which the shuttle
Il fait bien clair là-bas, parfaitement bleu.
Mission Specialist Mike Barrett and Steve Bowen.
On voit tout très bien.
Discovery's three main engines are burning fuel at a rate that would drain an average swimming pool in about 25 seconds. The engine's firing the solid rocket boosters produce more than 7 billion pounds of thrust. 1 minute and 50 seconds into the flight, we're standing by for separation of the twin solid rocket boosters. Discovery now traveling 2,695 miles an hour. Its altitude 24 miles. Downrange from the Kennedy Space Center 29 miles.
Séparation des boosters, voilà.
It just feels like you're sitting in a room.
And who was it? Some astronaut
Booster separation confirmed. Discovery's
I
got
know.
converging
I
as
did
the
on my
shuttle's
first
on
view, my
board.
friend. It got so quiet, so smooth. I
Booster
thought the
separation
engine all
confirmed.
stopped.
Discovery's guidance is now converging as the shuttle's onboard computers fine-tune the flight. Into the flight, Discovery traveling 3,189 miles an hour. Its altitude 37 miles. 2 minutes 25 seconds into the flight, Discovery traveling 3,189 miles an hour. Its altitude 37 miles. Downrange from the Kennedy Space Center 53 miles on either side of the shuttle's tail. These two engines will burn.
Donc Discovery est l'engin qui a le plus volé, 39 missions.
These two engines will burn for 2 minutes and 32 seconds.
Two-engine TAL, we do have updates to your no-com mode boundaries, and we did launch late into Pane 1, our only pane. The contingency aboard boundaries will use our in-plane plus 230. Let me know when you're ready to copy the new press to ATO and press to MECO.
So your press to ATO 11.9, press to MECO 1.5.
And so your press to ATO 11.9, press to MECO 1.5.
And there we have it, the Discovery Space Shuttle launches on its final ever mission into space after a 30-year career.
That's a good readback on both.
If he loses an engine at this particular time, the boundary is moved.
He's literally writing them down.
He's literally writing them out.
Discovery can now make it to emergency landing sites and should warn the engines still, but all three engines continue performing as
coming up
expected.
on at least the old time for negative return, meaning it couldn't come back to Kennedy Space Center. It was 3 minutes 54 seconds.
50 seconds into the flight,
And we are there now.
700 miles an hour.
So 5 seconds later.
That's a pretty good feeling. At this point, Discovery is traveling too fast, it's too far downrange to be able to return to the Kennedy Space Center.
So the return to launch site scenario, which we talked about, which is not a good scenario, ain't gonna happen.
You have to face the possibility of flying almost hypersonic backwards in your own plume.
170 miles.
Sounds exciting.
So Discovery's
Il y a un
return to Earth will
ordinateur.
not be at the Kennedy Space Center today.
Correct.
Could happen in 10 or 11 days. Could be Edwards.
By the way, plenty
And
of,
I'm still voting for Dulles. Just bring it right in there.
by the way, plenty of people joining for the first time.
Right
have
around the
never
afternoon
seen,
push. Huh?
plenty of people have never seen a shuttle launch. It is 8.5 minutes is the time when the shuttle is considered in orbit. 8.5 minutes after liftoff. So we still have another 4 minutes before it's considered the shuttle in orbit. And I know there are many of you that have never seen this before. It's not technically there yet. So we have to wait for that and
That's right.
listen for main engine cutoff.
29 miles. Your inside mission control flight director Richard Jones and his team continue to monitor the progress of Discovery's flight.
It's looking pretty clean so far. I didn't notice anything coming off, but of course there are a lot of eyes looking at high-def pictures at
Kirk,
looking at this.
we might need some assistance here.
Discovery, you are pressed to ATO.
Press ATO. That's aboard to orbit. That's a good moment too. That means something goes wrong, they're still going to get into some sort of orbit.
That was, by the way, 17 seconds added to the normal time.
Planned orbit should one engine fail at this point. However, all three engines continue to burn as expected.
They will roll over to the heads-up position.
Single engine on 3.
We'll see the shuttle rolling here in a moment.
Cigar?
Oh, absolutely. Dive in, dude. There you go. Have one.
All
One
right.
of those bad boys.
Good.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Roll.
Enjoy.
All right.
Enjoy.
Heads-up position to get
Anybody else?
communication with NASA's tracking satellites.
Yeah. We're sharing our cigar moment with our viewers.
Discovery, your single engine Zaragoza 103.
Traditional celebration. Of course, we do have to wait till they're in orbit.
We're just preparing.
No, we're not lighting them yet.
We're not lighting. We will not light these
Getting them
cigars
ready.
until the time is right.
Now
Just getting them ready.
landing sites in Europe should two engines fail at this point, but the flight continues to go well.
Now remember, there was one mission we lost. We had an engine go out. Story Musgrave's mission here.
And we did an abort to orbit on that.
There's the one and only abort, real life, there were some launch pad aborts back in the day.
Yeah.
But the actual single flight abort was that one. They ended up flying the mission perfectly fine. Used the OMS pods to circularize their orbit.
All
What do
right.
people want to know out there?
I call from Capcom Charlie Hoban indicating that...
Is it possible to launch without the range? No, it is not.
Well,
It's a safety mechanism.
It's now a moot issue.
that's right.
We don't care. No, you can't launch without it. I didn't mean it that way, being flip. I just want to thank the IT guy at the range, whoever he is.
We need to hire him immediately.
Yes.
Another minute and 20 seconds before Space Shuttle Discovery is in orbit for her final time.
7 minutes, 15 seconds into Discovery's flight. The shuttle traveling 12,700 miles an hour, altitude 66 miles.
I love that liftoff line, the tribute
We
to
got
the
basically a
workers.
minute and...
What was the liftoff line? I sort of missed it. I was
It
focused
was-
on something else.
Just not verbatim, but it was talking about a tribute to the men and women who worked on the program.
Discovery's engines now
And he did mention the final voyage of Discovery.
shuttle to 3 times that of...
And for old time's sake, they said clear the tower, which was kind of a
It was
harkens
a
back to the old
moving-
days. Yeah.
That was the most moving liftoff I've seen. Just because of
I
what
got
it
it.
means.
I'm checking in now. I got one.
Less than 30 seconds to go in Discovery's powered flight. We're coming up on main engine cutoff.
This will
All
be
right,
a
so
beautiful shot that you'll see. The orbiter, you'll see that engine's tail off, and you can see that orange flame
Yep.
kind of diminish.
Right.
And then you'll see that orbiter come off the top. The camera is on the external tank.
And
which
you know, there's
falls
really
back.
not a lot of tail off. I mean, it's sudden. Main engine cutoff's like bang, and you are weightless, and the sensation you have is that you're tumbling. It's like you're doing a forward tumble.
Now, there,
And this is where people blow chunks, right?
This is the first opportunity.
It's the first stop.
okay, we have main engine cutoff.
Now in space.
Okay, Miko.
They're there. And watch for this beautiful shot as it comes off. There he goes.
All right, and off we go on the external fuel tank.
There are cameras. There are 2 cameras in the belly of the orbiter in the aft, which start taking pictures of the tank.
And there's handheld cameras on board. There's a crew member assigned to get some pictures
Right.
too.
They'll flip over, and the crew member will take shots. The cameras are back to
Voilà, séparation du réservoir extérieur.
Discovery leaving. Or I should say the
You can
external
see
tank
the
leaving.
thrusters firing as it
shuttle up to
does the maneuver.
portion of the external tank so that the umbilical well camera can capture some images of it.
All right, I am going to light her up now, guys.
Okay, now just to translate what Miles just said, he is doing an old tradition here from Kennedy Space Center after launch and lighting a cigar along with Lee Richard.
Crew back to space.
We just welcome Steve Lindsay to
Copy,
Federal.
Nolan's 1 required, 3730 preliminary TIG, and thanks a lot. Good to be here.
Good to be here. It's so nice to hear that. Steve Lindsay back in space with his